1:21 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. This is Apple Computer right here before us. What we're doing is they're going to report their quarterly results momentarily. It is 4:23 calendar 2013. The time is 1:21 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So, I will go on pause. We have limit orders at $365 below, that's our limit order in after hours. We all know how flash crashes work. We all know how the mechanics of it work, and we have nothing to lose by having those limit orders down there. Of course, there'll be a knee-jerk reaction when the headline number hits on Apple. Okay, the stock has been halted on Apple pending quarterly results. It's going to open up in another 3 minutes and we'll see what happens. Here we go. We're still halted on Apple, but Apple sees Q3 revs of 33.5 to 35.5 billion versus 38.44 billion Capital IQ consensus. Now, folks, that revenue is light. This is probably why the stock is halted. Apple reports 19.5 million iPads sold in Q2 versus the street's 18 million. So that's better for them in that respect. But Q3 revs of 33.5 to 35.5 billion versus 38.44. So we got some revs that are light. Okay, Apple reports 37.4 million iPhones sold in Q2 versus the street estimate of 35 million. So their iPhones are a little bit above those estimates that they've given before. Apple sold just under 4 million Macs in Q2 versus the street estimate of 4 million. So that's right in line with their Mac sales that we're hearing. Okay, and the stock is still halted. Now, the stock has been beat up. We're going to see how it opens up. I'm going to go on pause. One of the things, Apple more than doubles capital return program, total of $100 billion to be returned to shareholders by the end of 2015. Company announced that its board of directors has authorized a significant increase to the company's program to return capital to shareholders. The company expects to utilize a total of $100 billion of cash under the expanded program by the end of calendar 2015. This represents a $55 billion increase to the program. Well, that's good news in my view, folks, even though the stock is halted. As part of this program, the board has increased its share repurchase authorization to $60 billion from $10 billion level announced last year. We'd love to see where the company is going to have a $60 billion repurchase program. It was at $10 billion. That's a $50 billion increase. This is good for Apple. This is the largest single share repurchase authorization in history and is expected to be executed by the end of calendar 2015. So Apple's going to repurchase lots of stock by the end of the calendar 2015. It's the biggest repurchase buyback program, which is going to give this stock support because that means they're going to buy $60 billion worth of their stock, and we couldn't ask for anything more. The board has approved a 15% increase in the company's quarterly dividend, and we'd love to see that. It has declared a dividend of $3.05 per common share, payable on May 16th of 2013. That's good news as well, folks, for Apple. And it is. So Apple is among the largest dividend payers in the world, with annual payments of about $11 billion. In conjunction with the expanded return of the capital program, the company plans to borrow and expects to announce more details about this in the near future. This is what we wanted to see. This is what some of the big hedge fund managers that had big stakes in, they want to see that money being returned to the shareholder. We'll go into more about that later. This is good news in my view. I'm going to go on pause and then we're going to open up. The thing that we like is that increase in that dividend yield. That will bring the value investor and the funds into this name. Apple will resume trading at 1650, 406, 13 was the close, plus 7.46 on the day. I can tell you that this turns the corner because there's lots of good things that people need to understand. And Apple reports Q2 gross margins. Once again, that's 37.5% versus the street's estimate of 38.5% and 37.5 to 38.5 guidance update. So to me, that's close enough. It's in line. What we're going to be excited about is where that capital would turn back into buying the shares. Biggest dividend, biggest repurchase buyback program. Money is going back to the shareholder. Couldn't have asked for more. I'm going to do a separate video about the shares trading so that the stock is going to resume at 16:50 p.m. Eastern Time.